Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is after Thanksgiving. Our bellies are a little full, but we're hungry for more. Hungry for more football. It is week 12 in the National Football League. This is the Parlay. We're going to answer all your fantasy football questions, all your NFL spreads, overs, and unders. It's going to be a great, fantastic show, but it's only going to be greater as soon as this screen splits into two and I bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Awthentik himself.
Let's go. As soon as this screen splits in two. I like that, man. What's popping, bro?
Nothing much, man. You know, just getting ready for my Washington Commanders. We're 2-0 since the Lucky Rabbit foot has entered the equation. So I'm excited to, get that rocking and rolling, So Thanksgiving was great. Yesterday was a big leftover day. Yesterday was a big leftover day.
I've been having leftovers for breakfast, lunch, dinner, man. My cat's been eating leftovers. Man, we've been going crazy over here, dog. But the leftovers definitely was fire. Macaroni and cheese is still popping over here, man. But Thanksgiving was fire, man. Shout out to everybody that checked out that video, too, man. Hope all of y'all enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to this fantasy, man. I'm in a must-win spot here this week, man, and I need a couple of things to go my way, kind of like my New York Giants. You already know, Giants Nation. We're going to be rooting against those Commanders today, for sure.
The honeymoon is over. I told Awthentik, I said, I think the honeymoon is over. I think it's we're going to start seeing a lot more of the Commanders got to lose sort of situation. Sorry, Beards. A lot of sorry Beards are going to be in the chats.
Yeah, a lot of sorry Beards. And I'm going to start the show off like this, too. I'm going to give my man J-Mo, Coach J-Mo, going to get 4 shout-outs today during this show. So this is shout-out number 1 for J-Mo. Congratulations to you and your Cowboys. I also saw Carol in the chat clowning me a little bit as well. Shout out to Carol. Shout out to them Dallas Cowboys one time. Big victory, man, against my banged-up New York Giants, man. I didn't see that one coming the way it did. And, unfortunately, Giants take that L. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting Sunday. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or, of course, here on YouTube, to fill the chat with as many fantasy football questions as you may have. We are here to guide you through these fantasy matchups. Also, I did want to say big shout-out, today is the 15-year anniversary of the tragic death of Sean Taylor. So if you guys are in the chat, drop some 21s in the chat throughout the show, show some love. This is they're going to be wearing the decals on the helmets today for the Commanders, the number 21. So that's going to be pretty
They don't make them like that no more, bro. They don't make them like that no more.
Nah, they don't. So it's going to be an interesting day here in Washington. Obviously, it's a little sketchy weather-wise.
It is, man. I woke up, I felt like it was like 6 in the morning when I looked outside the window. Very gloomy out here, man.
Yeah, it really is. And then also, it's just there's a lot on the line. We're getting close here to the last couple of weeks before playoffs kick in for fantasy football. So a lot on the line. Betting is open here in Maryland on the mobile aspect of it. Even though we're in D.C., we're a couple minutes away from Maryland. So that's another big thing. Obviously, you're going to start seeing a lot more people talking about bets in the DMV. But we'll say some quick shout-outs to the people in the chat, and then we'll start getting to your questions as far as fantasy goes. So J-Mo's already got 1 shout-out. We're going to give him shout-out number 2 to Coach Taylor. J-Mo is in the building. First person here. Beat everyone here this morning. What's up, Awthentik and The Beard? And see y'all at 11 a.m.
My man, shout out to J-Mo one time in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. Coach Taylor holding it down on the sidelines, man.
Big shout out. We got a lot of Cowboys people here early. Big shout out to Gregory, saying what's up to us. Appreciate you stopping by. Big shout out to Carol. Appreciate you stopping by. Annie Bell, always showing me love on the Whatnot app and on YouTube. Appreciate you coming by. Who else we got in the building? Kevin, the PRF.
Big shout out to Kevin.
Fourth one here, 4 biceps. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. James Funk, always holding us down on the Facebook end. We appreciate it for sure. Jay Jean, I did see, tight end, one-handed catch, front corner of the end zone to win the game. An insane catch. If you haven't seen that, definitely go ahead and check that out. It was a crazy catch, crazy game. So shout out to Jay Jean and her UCF fandom. Big shout out to the homie Lucas in the building.
Hey,
says AATB fam, sorry for the typo. It's 2 a.m. in Australia.
Wow. Wow.
Big
up
shout.
late.
It's already Monday. It's already Monday in Australia. Big shout out. We see a couple of questions. We're going to go ahead and just start answering those for everybody. Shout out to James Funk. Says, really want to play Josh Palmer, but who do I dare sit? Waddle or Kirk, or just be happy I got Palmer on my bench?
I think you just be happy to have Palmer on your bench, or you could think about Christian Kirk. I wouldn't bench Waddle. Definitely.
Yeah,
not.
no. I think you just put on some Bobby McCarron and you say, "Don't worry, be happy." Okay.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I understand where you're going with Joshua Palmer. No Mike Williams this week. He had a huge game last week, but I think Waddle and Kirk are going to be some guys this week. So I think you just be happy.
Yeah,
about
remember I
Josh
had Palmer in my sit-em section last week, and he had that big play to start the game in the first quarter. I think he had a touchdown. I think it was like a 40-yard touchdown or something like that.
Big touchdown. And big shout out to Jose checking in from Facebook. Says, I need one running back and one flex, half PPR. Miles Sanders, Najee Harris, Jeff Wilson, Keenan Allen, or Amari Cooper.
One running back, one flex. Okay, I definitely like Jeff Wilson in this mix. Keenan Allen's been a little bit banged up. Amari Cooper, they're going up against the Bucks. I think I'd go with Jeff Wilson. I got a feeling about Najee Harris this week. I don't know what it is. He had a decent game last week. He hasn't been having a good year, but I got a feeling about Najee Harris. Safer bet would probably be Miles Sanders going up against the Packers.
I'm going to go Jeff Wilson and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was on a limited snap last week, and he saw an absolute ton of targets. Justin Herbert had his highest completion percentage of the season last week with getting Keenan Allen back. So I think Keenan Allen sees 10-plus targets in this game today. So I like Keenan Allen and Jeff Wilson. Big shout out to Famed Tiger. Not sure if you're a new subscriber or not, but if you are, welcome to the Authentic and the Beard family. We
I love the
appreciate
panic
you
with
joining
the
us.
caps right there.
He said, help! OMG, help! Please, I'm going to lose. Oh my God, help me. Pick 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. His wide receivers are Hopkins, McLaurin, Kirk, Evans, Cooper, Allen. Jeez, you're stacked.
Yeah, you are.
Running back is Connor, Monty. I'm assuming that's David Montgomery, Jeff Wilson, and Michael Carter. So 2 wide receivers and 1 flex of all of those. So you get to pick 3, but 2 of them have to be wide receiver at least. I like Hopkins. I think you got to go Hopkins. That's a must for me. And out of those other 2 wide receivers, I'm looking at Mike Evans or Keenan Allen. I think I'm going to go with Keenan Allen and Hopkins for your wide receivers and your 1 running back. I think this is going to be a theme of today's show. I like Michael Carter. I like James Conner. James Conner played on 55 of the 56 snaps for the Arizona Cardinals last week. So the volume is definitely there, but I'm super high on Jeff Wilson this week. So I think, and I love Michael Carter, like I said, but I'm going to go Jeff Wilson for your flex. And then I'm going to go 2 wide receivers. I'm going to go Hopkins and Keenan Allen. But I mean, you might be able to even put in Evans in your flex and just get rid of Wilson or Kirk.
Oh, and not do a running back. Yeah, I like Wilson, though. I definitely like Wilson Jr. this week. The wide receivers, I mean, you're stacked. You got 4 options there, I feel like. I even like Terry McLaurin today going up against the Atlanta Falcons. That pass defense is bottom third of the league. He should be able to do some things. DeAndre Hopkins, man, I don't know about the chemistry over there, man. That's the thing, man. The quarterback wide receiver chemistry is not great, but DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in the league. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, and Jeff Wilson Jr.
Man, that's you got a good little stable.
I don't know how you're gonna lose with this lineup. I'm curious to know who the quarterback is.
Yeah. Who you're going against if you think you're going to lose. I mean, geez, Louise. Big shout out to Ligma. Says, can you help me choose 2 wide receivers? It's interesting because there seems to be a lot of these similar sort of lineup questions this week.
Yeah.
You got Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Watson, Hollywood Brown, or Joshua Palmer. Ooh, man.
I go with the first 2 names. Christian Watson, I mean, Philadelphia Eagles defense.
That's going to be a tough
secondary
matchup.
Is fire. That's a tough matchup. Hollywood Brown's just getting back off IR, and the quarterback over there. I'm sketched out with the quarterback situation over there. So I think I'm going Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins.
I do really. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big Christian Watson fan, but like Awthentik said, that matchup is super tough. I do really like Hollywood Brown this week, but I think you have to go with Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins. I believe those will probably be my two to go with. Big shout out to Beige Boy. Sebastian is in the building as well.
Hey, what's poppin', y'all?
Let's see. We got a couple more questions. Players are getting healthy, have way more decisions to make now. Very true, Sebastian. Very, very true. R. Hilton says, new here, trying to cash out, looking for some good advice. Heard great things. We appreciate you joining the Awthentik and The Beard family, R. Hilton. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop some questions in the chat if you have any, and we'll try and give you the best advice we possibly can. Big shout out to Texas Made. Says Devonta Smith or Latavius Murray in my flex.
Ooh, now that's a question.
Smith
That's a
has
good one.
tendency of disappearing.
Yeah,
which is
true.
very true.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Latavius Murray is in a spot here. You know, Marlon Mack is the second guy right now. Okay, Mike Boone, I think, is coming off the IR, although I don't think he's gonna be activated for this game. Obviously, Melvin Gordon is gone. I like Latavius Murray. Always like Latavius Murray. I think he has the capability of putting up big numbers if given the opportunity. Like you said, Devonta Smith, that's going to be an interesting matchup. They might look to run the ball a little bit more. And obviously, you know, you just don't know. It can be Devonta Smith can have a game where he has 9 catches for 135 yards and a touchdown. He can have a game where he has 4 catches for 45 yards. I think depending on what your rest of your lineup looks like, I would personally lean towards Latavius Murray in this particular game situation.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And Green Bay's pass defense is definitely not bad. They're ranked number 4 in the league, so I'm with you on this one. I'm going with Murray as well. The volume's going to be there. Running backs tend to, get more touches for sure. And like you said, Devonta Smith, he has games where he just falls flat and he just disappears. So I think if you want to go risky, because I do think the Philadelphia Eagles are in a spot today where they got to prove something, you could go with Devonta Smith. But if you want to make the safe play, I think Latavius Murray's the safe play.
Okay, so I think I might have misspoke, and if I did, I apologize, Jay Gene. Jay Gene is a dude. We are.
I'm a dude, right?
I apologize. My bad. It was,
that probably makes you think of some old homies of ours when you saw that Gene, I think.
But yes, congratulations on your victory as well. Let's see who else we got. James Funk says, I need one running back. Jeff Wilson or David Montgomery? Jeff Wilson.
You know the theme here. Jeff Wilson
Jeff
Jr. today.
Wilson is a guy today. Who else we got? Make sure I didn't miss anything. What's going on, Raziel? We appreciate you guys dropping through and letting people know to hit that thumbs up.
Appreciate it, Raziel.
See. Chat is rocking. James Funk is back with another one. Alvin Kamara, Rashard White, Samaje Perine, or James Robinson. Man, I tell you, I almost put Kamara in my sit section this week.
Ooh.
But I said, there's no way I could do it. But he hasn't had double-digit fantasy points in like 4 weeks. I am high on Rashard White. Samaje Perine's obviously going to be the guy this week because no Joe Mixon. It's tough. It would take so much for me to really bench Alvin Kamara. I think I listen. I'm gonna go ballsy. I'm gonna go White and Perine.
I like Perine because when Mixon has been hurt in the past, he's had some pretty decent games. I think I stick with Kamara though. I'm gonna go Kamara and I'm gonna go Perine. Rashard White though, he is in a good spot here, man, going up against the Browns, man, and he's probably gonna get the volume over there. But I like Perine. I like Kamara.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Kamara. I think that's San Francisco defense, if I'm not mistaken, today, New Orleans Saints. So that's a tough matchup for
I just went to check if Samaje Perine was available in our league.
He's
nope,
gone.
I need a running back so bad
today. Listen, what about if you need a running back, what about former Notre Dame running back? Since I already know about how you feel about the other running back there. For the Los Angeles Rams, Williams.
You know my theme this year has been, if you're not a good team, I don't want nothing to do with your players.
Big shout out to Beige Boy. Says Carson Wentz hasn't played since 13th of October. Still has the same number of touchdowns as Daniel Jones. He has more touchdowns than Taylor Heineke.
Dog, that is crazy.
I still have to manually go look at Heineke's stats because he's not the leading passer for the Washington Commanders every time I do the box score.
That's crazy. Yeah, last year I had a theme during the year with Daniel Jones, and people really did not like this. Like every week I was tweeting out a new quarterback. I'd be like, Davis Mills has played 3 less games than Daniel Jones and has more touchdowns. Taylor Heineke. That's been the theme for the last 3 years with the New York Giants. I don't know what it is, man. I'm starting to run out of options here of where I can deflect why Daniel Jones is not throwing touchdowns, but I'm going to continue to blame it on the wide receiver core and the offensive line.
Absolutely. I will agree with you. Dale Sullivan says half PPR, Moreau or Ingram?
I mean, I'll probably go Evan Ingram.
That's tough. Moreau is just so volume heavy, but the thing
and
is,
the Raiders are in a good spot
Adams,
where it should be a shootout in that game.
Shootout, yeah.
Yeah.
I might lean towards Moreau. It's kind of interesting that you pose that question also because Kevin the PRF says with Goddard on IR, is there a tight end sleeper you like? I tried Moreau last week, but he stayed in bed. I mean, it's crazy because a lot of the sleeper tight ends are probably picked up right now. You know, obviously the tight end in Denver. I can never remember his name, Dolchich. And then you got Moreau was one of the guys in Njoku, but he's probably picked up, obviously. Maybe Logan Thomas. He is going to play in the game.
They did say he'd be active today. I know he's dealing with a couple injuries.
I think he's going to be active. He did have a big game last week, but I don't know. It's tough because I'll tell you, I go with sleepers in my my DraftKings lineups, but I went pretty heavy on David Njoku. If another one comes to mind over the show, I will let you know, Kevin, for sure. Shout out to Renee. Says, fellas, salute. Christian Kirk or Hollywood Brown, Travis Etienne or Rashad White. He has Barkley and Walker.
Oh, man.
That's tough. That's tough.
Anything this week. I love ATN this week. I'm definitely putting ATN in the lineup. And then Kirk or Hollywood. I'm going Kirk. Yeah, go with the Jags, man.
Yeah, there might be a good little stack there. A little stack between Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne. They're gonna have to put up some offense going against the Kansas City Chiefs. So it definitely puts you in a good situation. So I'm not mad at Christian Kirk and Etienne, but you have good options there as far as White and Hollywood. Also,
now you're making me reconsider it just a little bit. Although I do think Etienne's gonna have a week, but the one thing that could go wrong is if they're playing from behind, they're probably gonna have to abandon the run. With the Bucks going up against the Browns, there should be a ton of running in that game. So, I mean, I think with the running back, you could coin flip it, but I do like Christian Kirk.
Very good points. Very good points. Kevin, the PRF says, does Pierce bounce back versus Miami, or should I consider Robinson Jr. on this rainy day? It's an option. I would still stick with Dameon Pierce. I think he just went up against a buzzsaw in the Washington Commanders defense last week. Dameon Pierce is a stud running back. I think they're going to find a way to use him. They're going to try to run the ball to keep that Miami offense off the field. And, you know, I love Robinson Jr., what he's been doing, but Antonio Gibson played 66% of the snaps at the running back position last week. So you do what you do with that number. So I think I'm going to stick with Pierce in that situation.
Yeah, I'm with you on
that. Bays Boy says Michael Pittman Jr. or David Montgomery full PPR.
I'm going Michael Pittman Jr. I'll tell you why later.
Yeah. And Travis Simeon is the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Trevor Simeon.
Trevor, what did I say? Travis?
Anytime I hear Travis, I think about the episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he was proposing to Hillary or whatever, and he was like, "Will you marry me?" And he went splat trying to bungee jump or something like that. I don't know who wrote that episode, but Dave was wilding on that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Michael Pittman Jr. also. David Montgomery, I mean, he's probably going to get a ton of volume, but I just don't know how much I actually really trust that offense with.
What's the word on Justin Fields? Out today?
He's out.
Yeah.
Simeon versus Mike White. Awesome match.
I mean, come on, man. Come on. What's going on here? Where's Josh Johnson when somebody needs a job? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Big shout out to Lax044 for the $1.99 super chat. Should I start Joe Burrow or Geno Smith?
That's crucial.
Ooh, you are in a tough position. I love both of those guys this week. Who you going with, Authentic?
I think I'm going to go Joe Burrow. I mean, no Mixon in the lineup. They're probably going to have to rely on the pass a lot. No Jamar Chase, so that's definitely going to hurt him. But both those quarterbacks should have a good game. I think the floor is really high on both those quarterbacks. You could really go either way. Geno Smith's been playing pretty well, but I'd go Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's now at that point where he's like, it's time to prove, and he's doing it.
I don't think you have to. You could flip a coin. I don't think you're gonna be wrong either way. They'll probably put up very similar points. But if I had to choose, I think I would go Joe Burrow because I'm a Joey B guy.
Yeah, you a Cincinnati Bengals fan for sure. Here's the other thing too is like, I would look at the floor, like who's got the more potential to really have a game that, is more like a bust kind of game. And I think Geno Smith's more likely to put up like 14 points than Joe Burrow is.
Very true. Very, very true. Big shout out to Big Blue in the Bronx. Yes. My timeline was filled with a lot of Big Blue in the Bronx last night as we are both Notre Dame fans, and we
I didn't know that. What's up?
Suffered a tough loss last night. So, yeah. But we'll bounce back, Big Blue in the Bronx. We got a nice recruiting coming up, so I'm excited for the future.
I was telling the Beard, Big Blue in the Bronx, that y'all play football like it's the 90s over there with that Notre Dame team. Y'all got to get with the times, man.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that are thrilled with our offensive coordinator, who is ex-Notre Dame quarterback Tommy Rees. C-Bands,
remember Tommy Rees?
Never stay lacking 4 to 5.
Fam?
Do I start Olave or Mike Evans?
Olave been balling. I go Olave. I think there's gonna be a lot of running in that Bucks-Browns game. Mike Evans, you're gonna be relying on the big play, I think. So I go Olave.
I love Olave, I really do, but I'm worried for that Saints team and again going against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm gonna go Mike Evans.
Mike Evans got 3 touchdowns on a year, but
listen.
All of them have came in the first 3 weeks of the season. He has not scored a touchdown in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight weeks, and he's only breached 6 receptions one time.
Yeah, Chris Godwin has been on a tear. I'm going to say this right now. Mike Evans scores a touchdown today.
I like that. I'm never going to argue with the Beard ever again when he says this guy's going to get 100 yards and a touchdown. All right. I'm like, hey, I like it, bro. I like it.
A big shout out to James Funk says 1 running back. Oh my God. You're really putting me in. Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones, Rashad White, or David Montgomery.
I'm going with the first 2.
You can only go 1.
Oh, we can only go 1. If I'm going 1, I'm going Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker it is. I'm right there with you. Big shout out to Lax0fofo for the $1.99 super chat. Says Garrett Wilson or DK Metcalf.
That's kind of tough.
It is.
I think I go Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson's getting Mike White. Yeah.
Mike White did have that one big game where he scored like 3-4 touchdowns back in the day.
He did.
Mike White. I'm going with Garrett Wilson.
I'm going DK Metcalf. I'm expecting a big game from Geno Smith this week, so I'm gonna go DK Metcalf. Okay, so big shout out to Frank the Take. I had to, because if I see Frank the Take in the chat, I gotta give him a big shout out.
Facts.
He says there was literally an ad for fruits to get in here. Algorithm got me dead wrong on that one.
Nah, that's your search history, Frank. You know what's good.
Big shout out to Caesar. Says, hey, y'all, PPR league, Montgomery, Rashad White, or Jeff Wilson. Then in another PPR league, pick 2, Hollywood Brown, Terry, and Godwin.
I think I know where you're going with this one.
Rashad White or Jeff Wilson? I think I'm going to go Jeff Wilson.
Yup.
PPR league number 2, pick 2, Hollywood Brown and Chris Godwin.
Ooh, I didn't expect that. I'm going Terry and Godwin on that one.
I don't know, man. I got a big feeling about Chris Godwin and Mike Evans today. Might go a little ham. A little ham. Let's make sure I don't miss any other. Yeah, he was questionable, but they were leaning. Last I checked early this morning, it was leaning towards him not playing.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Tonight. There's a lot of this going on. Said, do not let OBJ leave the building.
Look, this saying right here, right? I saw a lot of this on Twitter too, and every time I see the "don't let him leave the building," it makes me think about Kenny Galladay, who literally would not leave the building without a deal. Got the deal. I don't even have to talk about it anymore. It's been bad. It's been really bad.
Big shout out to the buddy Toothpick. Says, what's good, guys? Appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. And let me make sure. Here we go. Juan Pena Jr. says, who for wide receiver 1 and 2? Boyd, Samuel, Campbell, Mooney, DeAndre Carter, or Landry. Now, this is
tough.
This is digging right here.
Yeah.
Gotta do a little digging. I think
I'm putting Paris Campbell in the mix. I think he's been playing well, and with Matt Ryan at quarterback, it just helps that offense be able to stretch the field a little bit more. So he's one I'm putting in there for sure. Curtis Samuel.
He's been doing a lot more running than catching lately.
Yeah. Doesn't say what kind of league.
Showed up either. I'm gonna go Boyd Campbell. I
was thinking Boyd too.
Boyd hasn't really done much, but that's when he usually shows up.
I don't know if I'm going Boyd, man. I don't know, man. The last couple of weeks ain't been that good, man.
It haven't. Dude, maybe we sneak in DeAndre Carter. No Mike Williams this week. He might see a little bit more burn. You know what? I'm gonna go Paris Campbell and DeAndre Carter.
That sounds like my fantasy team right there. I'm struggle mode right now, dog. That really sounds like my squad right there. Ooh. All right. Nah, dog. I can't go DeAndre Carter. I'm gonna go Paris Campbell, Curtis Samuel. God, I can't believe I just said that.
Big shout out to Kai 001. Congratulations to your Cowboys for a well-fought victory on Thursday. If you guys are on Twitter, Kai is brand new to Twitter, so make sure y'all go on Twitter, follow him on Twitter, show him some love. Big shout out to Kai 001.
Facts. Hey, and I will say this, man. Them Cowboys Thanksgiving uniforms, I know, over here with the New York Giants, people don't like the Cowboys. Them uniforms is fire. Zeke with the visor and the white helmets, man, them joints I can't even front. I was like, man, they look like they about to do some damage today. And probably the #1 touchdown celebration of the year with the whack-a-mole when they jumped into the Salvation Army bowl or whatever. That was probably the best touchdown celebration I've seen all year.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, they have that damn Salvation Army bowl there every Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
so
they do that on purpose.
They know.
Yeah, they know what's good.
All right, we're gonna get one. Let me make sure I didn't miss. I saw another. Oh, here we go. Juan Pena. For my flex, James Conner, Juwan Johnson, or Antonio Gibson. Ooh.
That's a good one too. I like Antonio Gibson and Conner. Antonio Gibson, even though the touches have been ramping up now, he's getting more even with Brian Robinson. And in the passing game, he's the one that's going to get the targets. So I like Antonio Gibson, and James Conner. Ain't nobody else really over there.
Yeah, that's what makes this one tough for me. Like, normally I would probably go, based upon how the season has gone, I'd go Antonio Gibson because Antonio Gibson is catching the ball so much out the backfield. But, I mean, earlier I said it. James Conner last week played 99% of the snaps. That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I think I would lean towards James Conner just because of the pure volume. It's hard for me to get away from that. And this is a great question from Apostrophe. Shout out Apostrophe.
That's a gangster YouTube name right there. That's a gangster YouTube name. And then look at the profile picture. That's fire right there.
Shout out to Apostrophe. I'm going to go Rashad White.
I got a gut feeling about Najee Harris, so we're a little bit split on this one, man.
Yeah.
I wish I had a coin down here.
I forgot. We got to get an Authentic and The Beard parlay coin.
We do. That's facts.
We'll do,
maybe it's like a digital version. You see it on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like, Beard's excited. Shout out to the graphics department.
Oh, man. All right. Let me make sure we are all caught up on questions. Yep. We are all caught up on questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We will answer them throughout the stream. Shout out to everybody who is watching right now on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Tell a friend about Authentic and The Beard. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's
real
time
quick
to,
before we get
before we get
into the mix.
I'm here. You got a
this
question
is number
from the chat?
2 moment. Shout out my guy, Coach J-Mo, in the building one time. Y'all know what it is, all right? I see my homie OG Knockout in the chat, too. Salute to OG Knockout. I see they was trying to come for you in the comment section on that last video, but shout out OG Knockout in the building one time for rocking with us, man.
Appreciate everybody being here, as always. All right, yeah, so we're going to jump right into, there's a lot of Daniel Jones talk in the chat, so let's go ahead and talk about our starting quarterbacks for this week in the National Football League of Fantasies. All right, Authentic. Kevin the PRF says apostrophe is a name who's modding on console. I don't know what that means, but okay. We're shout out
Who's
to
modding on console. Come on. I need a little bit more of an explanation there. Nope.
I don't understand.
We're going to need a lifeline over here.
I feel like an old man right now. All right, we're going to talk about some quarterbacks who are must-starts, who we think are going to be the top-performing quarterbacks this week in fantasy football. And if you take a look down at the little ticker that's going across the bottom of the screen, that will show you the top 3 quarterbacks in fantasy according to PPR stats thus far in the season.
Oh, I like that.
So you'll see Patrick Mahomes.
The ticker department.
Ticker department? I love it. I love it. Shout out to the ticker department. All right, who you rocking with, Authentic?
So number 1 spot, Patrick Mahomes, man. Patrick Mahomes has just been going crazy. My man has 5 straight games over 300 yards. That's just absolutely ridiculous. He's thrown 2 or more touchdowns in every game but 2 this season. So I got Patrick Mahomes sitting at the number 1 spot. I got Justin Herbert coming in at the 2nd spot versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals have given up the most yak in the entire league, and Herbert's coming off a pretty good game last week, man. 23 of 30. You talked about the completion percentage, 280 yards versus the Chiefs. So I like Justin Herbert. My man Emmanuel Acho, who I really like, I think he's a really good analyst. He was saying that Justin Herbert is a social media quarterback. I was like, that's kind of a jab right there. But 3rd, I got Joe Burrow, man, against Tennessee Titans, man. Titans had a 30th ranked pass defense in the entire league. They're giving up 266 yards per game through the air. No Joe Mixon, no Jamar Chase. I know that's going to hurt him a little bit, but I got faith in Joe Burrow. This is the kind of game where you show that you're in that tier 2 of quarterbacks, right? We saw Daniel Jones go up against the Dallas Cowboys, banged up wide receiver core, banged up offensive line. I think most fans kind of knew what to expect, a more reserved game plan as far as passing goes. But Joe Burrow, this the kind of game where you prove you belong in that tier 2. So I got Joe Burrow coming in at 3rd.
Well, we got a couple of the same guys. Obviously, I'm really high on Justin Herbert this week. You talked about how, he looked last week. I think it was maybe one of his best statistical games this season. I think it just goes to show when he has Keenan Allen out there, it makes a huge difference. And I see Texas Made talking about that as well in the chat. And then, you got to look at Arizona's defense. They've allowed the 5th most yards in the National Football League this year. And even more concerning, they've allowed the 2nd most passing touchdowns on the year. So they've allowed 21 passing touchdowns this year. So I'm looking for Herbert to come in and have a big game. Also, Joe Burrow, you talked about that Titans pass defense. Joe Burrow is also averaging 28.8 fantasy points over the last 5 games. And a lot of that has been without Jamar Chase. So he's definitely...
Chase has been ruled out, too. They just ruled him out.
So, he's been able to get it done without Jamar Chase. And I think that's a huge, it's a good look for him, as a lot of people, look at him as Jamar Chase dependent. So my last guy who's going to be the mix, and big shout out to Tua. I almost went all the same draft class with Herbert, Burrow, and Tua.
That would have been fire.
I love Tua this week. I think Tua has a big game against the Texans. But I'm going to go with Geno Smith. Geno's averaging 20.36 fantasy points over his last 3 games. Las Vegas Raiders have allowed the 8th most passing yards in the National Football League and have allowed the 7th most passing touchdowns in the National Football League. So Geno's going to round out my top 3 at the quarterback
Geno
position.
Looking like he could be, right at the top of that comeback player of the year, as a candidate, man. No one expected this. Coming from the Giants community, when he started for Eli Manning, people were so upset about that. And now I'm starting to see that tune kind of change a little bit on my social media platforms where people are like, no disrespect to Geno Smith, but, He did start over Eli Manning and break the streak and blah, 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 blah. It's good to see him actually playing some good football over there in Seattle.
Absolutely. And shout out to Bluegrass because he picked up a nice point here, too.
Yeah.
Mahomes is going to get Juju back today. I think there's a lot of potential in the Kansas City Chiefs lineup, especially if you're looking at DraftKings. Juju Smith-Schuster is very underpriced on DraftKings. And Sky Moore, rookie wide receiver who saw a ton of action last week with Kadarius Toney ruled out this week. He's definitely a guy to keep your eye out on. He is the bare minimum $3,000 on DraftKings. So Sky Moore might be in play if you need to squeeze in a real Hail Mary at the $3,000 mark for DraftKings. All right, excuse me. Let's go ahead and move on to what I think is the most interesting position of the week in fantasy football, and that is the running back position. There is an absolutely absurd amount of value at the running back position this week due to injuries, due to some players already have playing earlier this week. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can, move around your lineups. And we've already seen a ton of the questions in the chat regarding running back position. My top three guys, I'm going to start with Austin Eckler. I mean, he's a wrecking ball. You know, he's catching the ball, he's running the ball. I think having Keenan Allen kind of opens things up a little bit more for Austin Eckler now that they've got another weapon on the field. Austin Eckler is also going against that Arizona defense. We know about that Arizona defense already. And he's averaging 23.4 fantasy points per game. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm going to go with Travis Etienne as another one of my guys. Since he's been named the starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's averaging 20.8 fantasy points a game. He's also averaging 21.5 touches a game and averaging 120 total yards of offense per game. You want to know how much? He is the 5th in the league on yards per touch. So not even just yards per rush, just getting the ball. He's 5th on average yards at all positions. 5th on averages per touch. So he's definitely a guy, and I think they're going to need him going against that Kansas City offense. Yep. And then last but not least has been a guy that I've been high on since the season started. Before the season started, I drafted this guy, Kenneth Walker III. Also since starting, he is averaging 106 yards, 20.2 fantasy points. He's going against the Las Vegas Raiders, who give up 122 yards per game. So those are my 3 starts at the running back position. Who you rocking with, Awthentik?
I like it. I got Travis Etienne in this matchup too, man. I like him going up against the Ravens. The Ravens are kind of just, man, they're just a little disappointing to me, man. You know, they were one of my Super Bowl contenders early on in the year, and that defense just hasn't been playing that well against the pass and against the run. So I do like Travis Etienne, who's a player on the come up. I got Kenneth Walker here versus the Raiders as well, man. He's averaged 22 touches and 106 total yards. He's only finished outside the top 24 running backs just one time. That's ridiculous. And in week 10, he commanded a 23.5 target share. So that he's getting it in the passing game. He's getting it on the ground. Definitely like Kenneth Walker III. And I like Derrick Henry versus the Bengals because it's like, if you're the Tennessee Titans, what else are you going to do but give Derrick Henry, King Henry, the ball? He's averaging 24.8 touches, 120.9 total yards. He's 4th in breakaway runs, which is, when you think about a bigger back like Derrick Henry, you don't think he's got that speed, but this dude is like a juiced up Brandon Jacobs pretty much, man. When he does get to that second level, third level, he does take a lot of these runs to the house. So I like Derrick Henry going up against the Bengals as well.
We got a couple of running back questions. Shout out to Apostrophe. He's back. Jeff Wilson or Najee or Rachaad White. I'm still going Jeff Wilson.
I'm still going Jeff Wilson too, man. And I got Najee as a second rank on that list you got right there. I got a feeling about Najee today. I don't know.
And shout out to Chris Peace, who is our on-site reporter, our field reporter for the day. He is checking in live from the FedEx parking lot. I feel like I should have you like in my headphone right now. So, Chris, tell us what it's like out there in the tailgate section of FedEx Field. He wants to know, do you start Antonio Gibson or Brian Robinson? This is a question a lot of people have been dealing with over the past few weeks. I'm a Gibson guy. Nothing against Brian Robinson. I just think, especially in a PPR league, Gibson is the guy. So I'm going to go Gibson over Robinson.
I'm right there with you. I got Gibson in my lineup on my fantasy team. He's been in my lineup throughout the year, even with all the Brian Robinson hype and Gibson. Like I said earlier, man, he's getting the volume in the passing game.
And also, Chris, while you're out there, make sure you tell everybody in the parking lot to subscribe to Awthentik and The Beard. We would appreciate that. Thank you very much, Chris.
Facts.
And we'll check back in with you at a later time during this episode of Awthentik and The Beard, News Channel 9.
Back to you, Beard.
All right, we're gonna move on to the. Oh no, I gotta give you. No, yeah, we're good. I gave you my.
Yep, we're
backs.
good. Yep.
We had
a lot of the same names. I think that's why I got.
I got a little running back happy because when we get to these sleeper section, man, I got about 37 running backs for everybody to choose from. All right, so we're gonna move on to the position in which Awthentik reminded everybody this week on Twitter that of anybody who creates content in the Giants community, there is not one individual that has the equivalent of hands as to those of Mr. Awthentik. So now let's move on to the wide receiver section of. All right, Awthentik. If you cannot start yourself this week, tell the people who will be your must starts at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, I moved Awthentik to the sleeper section this week. He's coming off an injury, high ankle sprain. Just been out for about 4 to 5 weeks here. But at the wide receiver position, 4 to 5 decades, man. Golly, I got to get out there, man. I ain't ran in a while. But wide receiver section, man, I might surprise a couple people here. I got Davante Adams one time, man. I think that game's either going to be a shootout, man, or they'll be down on the scoreboard playing from behind and have to throw the ball a lot. And I'm going to go with something that the Beard has gone with for a few weeks here, but the Beard normally tries to combine these two wide receivers as one, make them form, and do their Decepticon kind of vibes here. But I'm going Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle up against the Houston Texans because the Houston Texans are just not good. They probably going to get the number 1 draft pick. And I know they're worse against the run. Their pass defense is not as terrible as their run defense is, but I think that that's actually going to open up some things in the pass for the Miami Dolphins here. They're probably going to run this scoreboard up pretty early, and you're going to see a lot of high fives in the second half. Tyreek Hill, man, listen to this, bro. Already has 81 receptions and 1,148 yards on the season. That don't make no damn sense. 4 touchdowns already. And Jalen Waddle, man, he's 22.3 of the target share over there with Miami. He's the wide receiver number 9 in fantasy as far as points per game. So he's getting it done. Last week, he caught 4 of his 5 targets. I definitely like Jalen Waddle. So I'm going with the Miami Dolphins stack, which is outrageous to start 2 players on the same team at the same position. But I think it's going to work out today against the worst team in football, the Houston Texans. And I'll round it out with my man Davante Adams against them Seahawks.
Listen, you already know I'm a big fan of that. I love it. The Waddle Hill, I feel like we need like a jersey that says Waddle Hill, as one name, and then we'll combine all 3 of both of their numbers on the back. It'll be awesome.
I like that.
Waddle Hill. Waddle Hill sounds like a good last name, Yeah, today I'm starting Tyreek Jalen Waddle Hill at the wide receiver position.
You'll have like a dash like Smith-Schuster kind of vibe.
I also love Tyreek Hill. I mean, they're coming off of a bye week too, so I'm expecting them to be well rested and ready to rock and roll. That's huge to me. And then obviously, I mean, Tyreek Hill's averaging 26.73 fantasy points over his last 3 games. I mean, like you love. I mean, at an average of 26. I mean, Jesus, I'll take that any day of the week. I also love Davante Adams. I think, like you said, the pace of that game, it lines up for Davante Adams to have a huge game. And you want to talk about insane averages, okay? He's averaging 14.6 targets a game over the last 3 games.
That's why I had to get rid of Hunter Renfrow, man. Hunter Renfrow was over there looking like, bruh, can I get a pass here, cuz?
14.6 targets a game over the last 3 weeks. And, okay, now we talked about Tyreek Hill, 26 fantasy points. Davante Adams over the last 3 games is averaging 35.43 fantasy points a game. I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy.
The Raiders are the biggest letdown of the year, though, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And listen, my last guy, I had in my top 3 last week, and that's T. Higgins. I had him in my top 3 last week, and he performed fairly well. He had 9 catches for 148 yards last week. He's averaged last 2 games. He's got 21 targets over the last 2 games. So they're definitely looking in his direction. And then the difference, the Titans defense is just I mean, it's pretty bad in pass defense. We talked about it. What'd you say? 30th, right? 30th,
Yep.
I think, in the league. And then he's had double-digit fantasy points, I believe, in every single game this year except for one, T. Higgins. So the consistency is there even when Jamar Chase is there. So I expect T. Higgins to have a big game as well. So that's going to round out our must starts and our top performance expected at the wide receiver, quarterback, and running back position. At this moment in time, we are now going to move into the section where we just, we put Coach Awthentik and give him a hat, some short shorts, and a whistle, and he tells people
collared shirt.
Yeah, collared shirt. There we go. With the tight little sleeves with the stripes on the end, so you can roll them up also and put a pack of cigarettes in it like you did back in the
I
day.
think I'm more of a Bill Belichick hoodie type of guy. Cut off sleeves, collar cut out. I don't even know why he be cutting the collar out them joints. Like,
Can I
he
just
can't
say-
fit through the sweater.
After watching that game that Thursday night, Bill Belichick's son looks like he has just been doing cocaine all day. The way the way his mouth be moving when he be on his sidelines, I'm like,
He's got the little short area between the nose and the upper lip. Hard to, his mouth's always open.
And that mullet, I mean, that guy.
And that mullet, dog. That mullet is wild.
I mean, it wouldn't be that bad if he had like a fade on the side. You know what I'm saying? But there's
I don't know. I don't think a fade could save that mullet. I don't know, dog.
All right, let's go to the bench, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Coach Awthentik. Who you sitting on the bench with, baby Belichick?
All right, baby Belichick. I got Cortland Sutton on the bench this week versus the Panthers, and it's not that he's playing horrible. He is averaging 9 targets with Jerry Jeudy out the lineup, but in those games where Jerry Jeudy has been out the lineup, he's got no touchdowns, man. And we already know Russell Wilson in that offense, they're struggling. I saw a statistic that said if the Denver Broncos averaged just 18 points per game, they would only have 2 losses on the season. They really not putting up points. And I think that this Panthers defense is pretty decent, man. They're 18th against the pass, and they gave Lamar Jackson some problems. They've been fighting. That's the thing. A lot of people ruled them out. You like how I did that right there, a little pun. I did. But I think the Panthers are fighting, man, and I'm going to put Cortland Sutton on the bench. I'm putting Cam Akers on the bench as well, man. Chiefs are top 10 versus the run. Akers had his best game last week, 61 yards. That ain't going to cut it. So any hype you thought, Akers coming into this week, I would dead that immediately. And the Beard's definitely not going to like this one, but he might like this one. I don't know. He might like this one. I'm sitting Taylor Heineke and Marcus Mariota on the bench this week. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. I'm sitting both of them on the bench. People are talking about the matchup between 2 mobile quarterbacks. Get out of here with that. This is not 2 mobile quarterbacks. I'll give you Marcus Mariota possibly, but I'm definitely sitting both those quarterbacks in that game. And I'm crossing 2 fingers, and I'm going to give y'all 2 thumbs down. I definitely need the Atlanta Falcons to win this game.
We know the honeymoon is over between Awthentik and the Beard.
Facts.
Listen, I'm upset about Notre Dame losing to USC last night, so I'm going to sit Sam Darnold. I know Sam Darnold is making his comeback to the Carolina Panthers this week. I just, I don't have faith in anybody who's taking. To me, PJ, and listen, I'm a Baker guy. It's just not working for me, Carolina.
Yeah.
So I like PJ Walker. I mean, I know he's a little banged up, but they're going with Sam Darnold. Don't be Carolina. Don't go with Sam Darnold. I know sometimes you could be in a quarterback jam. I don't think in this sort of jam, don't go with Sam. Okay, we're gonna drop a couple bars.
We got
there.
these Sam bars. We got some Sam in this jam. Don't go with Sam. I like it.
We're going to keep the theme here with the Carolina Panthers. As much as I like Deonta Foreman and what he has been able to accomplish in his career in Tennessee and here in Carolina, that Denver defense is not a joke. I mean, they're really good. So I'm going to stay away from Deonta Foreman. I was going to give you a third Carolina player in DJ Moore. I just did give you a third Carolina player, DJ Moore. But just to mix things up a little bit, I'm going to go with Drake London. As much as I love Drake London as a player, that offense has just not been, it's so run heavy. He hasn't had the ability to shine what he's really worth. He's had 1 double-digit fantasy point game in the last 8 games, and he's averaging 37.2 yards per game. As Awthentik says, that's just
100-yard games on the year for my guy. He's been in my lineup all damn year. I'm struggling at wide receiver, man.
Yeah.
We got a couple of questions in the chat too,
Yep.
and I love the way that this greeting came in on this one right here.
Howdy.
As a Haitian black brother over here, I'm about to start saying howdy. You know, that would throw people for a loop so crazy if every time I greeted somebody, I was like, howdy. They'll be like, what the? I'm loving that one. Shout out to TSB World one time in the building, man.
Says, happy Sunday. Need a flex 1-point PPR. Cordero Patterson or Rashad White. Keep up the great work.
Salute. Appreciate that, fam.
I love Cordero Patterson. You know that. I've been talking about Patterson for years. Okay? But not this day. He's running into the buzzsaw.
That's what you think the Washington defense is, a buzzsaw.
It's a buzzsaw right now. So I'm going to go Rashad White in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, though. I'm going Rashad White, man. The volume is what you got to be concerned about with Cordero Patterson. They might be playing from behind in that game. Who knows? And I think that Algier is probably the better option this week. I'm forced to put Algier in my lineup, so maybe this is just a Hail Mary on my end. We'll see, but I do think Rashad White might be the vibes.
I'm also going to give a big shout-out to Free Bird.
Shout out Free Bird one time in the building.
He says,
like the profile pic, too. That's fire with the blurred box there. Is that a cage?
It's very
I like that. It looks like a bird cage.
It's a bird cage.
A little bird cage. I like that. Free Bird. That's dope.
Shout out to Free Bird's graphic department.
No bull.
Devonta Smith, Cam Akers, or Curtis Samuel, PPR, need one.
All right, so we're pretty much going Devonta Smith or Curtis Samuel here because Cam Akers ain't the vibes. Need one for PPR. I'm going Devonta Smith, man.
It's tough because I feel like Devonta Smith and Curtis Samuel are very similar in their production levels, like ceiling floor sort of situation.
Yeah.
I want to go Cam Akers just to be different, but I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Devonta Smith. I think Devonta Smith is due for a game, actually. So big shout out to Freebird. We appreciate you stopping by. Waterfly, don't worry. I'm going to be back on Whatnot. You know, it's been a busy weeks, holiday. I'm restructuring some things. I'm getting prepared for Washington Commanders versus New York Giants week. So,
it's going to be 2 weeks out of 3 weeks. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, but don't worry. I'll be back. I promise you, my friend. Kevin the PRF says, if London is a bench, get ready for that Atlanta L.
Kevin the PRF, you let me down, bro. Come on.
All right, so we're going to move into the last section before we get into rapid fire. Don't forget, if you have more questions in the chat, please drop them. We are here to answer. Up next is going to be a section in which we wake up some players from some power naps. And then there's a guy in here that, I pulled him out, and the Awthentik's reaction was...
Oh, yeah, this was
priceless
wild
in itself. So let's get into our sleepers for this week. All right, Awthentik. Who's waking up from a nap in Awthentik land?
Well, there's not a lot of people are taking power naps these days this late in the season, man, okay? Pretty much every breakout player is pretty much out to bed one time. But I like Jeff Wilson Jr. this week, man, against Houston, man. Wilson has taken over pretty much as the leader of that backfield. In Week 10, he played 61% of the snaps with 19 touches, 5 targets, 143 total yards. The Texans are dead last in the NFL against the run. They're allowing 178 yards per game. That is not the vibes. And I got 2 sleepers from the same team. I'm going Michael Pittman Jr. versus the Steelers because the Steelers have the 31st ranked pass defense. Pittman had 6 receptions for 75 yards last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, which is one of the better secondary units in the entire league. But the part that scares me about Michael Pittman, he has not scored a touchdown since take a guess.
Week
1. Literally, dog. Since week 1. And another sleeper I'm going with this week, I'm going to give you 2 quarterbacks here. I'm going Matt Ryan versus the Steelers. And I literally just have an emoji with the finger that just points up to Michael Pittman. That's why I think Matt Ryan's going to be a sleeper in this one. And I'm also going Ryan Tannehill versus the Bengals, man. Ryan Tannehill completed 22 of 27 pass attempts for 333 yards last week, 2 touchdowns. He only had 1 interception in the Titans' victory over the Packers, 27-17. The Titans are probably the most slept-on team in the league right now, man. I think they've won like 7 of their last 8 or something like that, man. Definitely balling out. So I'm going to put Matt Ryan in there. I think him and Joe Burrow are going to have a big shootout this week, man, in fantasy.
Kai, my guy. No debate. Well, I gave you a minimum debate.
Oh, do
maybe.
both. Do both.
Yeah, do both. But, like, you got to have red zone cranking. And if you're going to focus on a 1 o'clock game, you better focus on the buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw had me crying, dog. I'm gonna get a buzzsaw sound effect. That is very important from now on. But yo, Kai, I don't know if you watching your red zone on your cable from your cable provider, and this is all allegedly. I heard this through a bird. He might be a free bird. I don't know. I heard it from a bird, maybe on Twitter, something like I don't know. But there's this site called Stream East. Just Google it, man. You can find your way. You bring up little squares on your screen, and you can have all the games going on one computer screen and do your thing on your main TV. But yeah, find a way to keep that red zone up. Red zone is where it's at.
It absolutely is. Okay, he says, nah, I'm streaming.
Oh, you streaming from the East.
All right, listen. This is jam packed, ladies and gentlemen. So turn up your headphones, all right, and focus because I got a whole lot of sleepers. We're like an outdoor ed right now. Okay,
some of these outdoor ed. Some people might not even everywhere. Know what that is. Yo, outdoor ed.
There's sleeping bags everywhere. All right, so
wait before you move on from outdoor ed, real quick. Before you move on from outdoor ed, that was supposed to be education on the outdoors. Is that really what that was? Because that was like. Outdoor ed was more like, hey, man, the girls is over there, the fellas is over here. How we going to holler? That's how outdoor ed used to be for us. And I'll never forget this. I got to bring this up. Outdoor ed, shout out to Mr. Newsom one time. He was a security guard. That man fell asleep standing up, and we snuck by him as he was asleep standing up. I'll never forget it. I was 11 years old.
I ain't never been outdoors like that before in my entire life until
outdoor ed was a vibe, man. That was a vibe. Put some biceps in the chat if you even know what outdoor ed is. All right, Beard, continue.
All right, so live from Camp Awthentik and The Beard at Outdoor Ed, I'm going to give you Donovan Peoples-Jones, okay? Donovan Peoples-Jones has had double-digit fantasy points in 7 of his 9 games, okay? He's coming on strong. He's getting worked more and more into that offense. And Amari Cooper, when Amari Cooper's doing good, it opens the door for Donovan Peoples-Jones. So keep your eye on Donovan Peoples-Jones. They might be playing from behind and have to throw the ball a lot, so I like him. Marquise Brown is back. I know he's coming back off of an injury, okay? But Marquise Brown has had double-digit fantasy points in every single game he's played in this year. He's averaging 18.8 fantasy points per game. So this is the first time all season where we're going to get DeAndre Hopkins and Marquise Brown on the field at the same time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So
he was traded mid-season, right? Not mid-season, but he was traded during the year, right? Or was that before the year started?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I think it was before the season started. Like, yeah.
Maybe it was. I remember Lamar tweeting out he was upset about that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, so much has happened. It's hard to remember all of that.
Right?
But yeah, I love Marquise Brown. Now, obviously, I'm going to give you guys a stable of running backs, okay? Samaje P. Ryan, no Joe Mixon, okay? We talked about Rachaad White. Obviously, he could be a guy, 22 for 107 yards in his first start. So definitely keep your eye out on Rachaad White. Awthentik talked about Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson has been on absolute fire since being in Miami. 16.2 carries, 22.3 fantasy points, and 108 yards with Miami. So definitely a guy you want to keep your eye out on. Michael Carter, okay? He is a guy to keep your eye out on.
Is that Chris Peace in my ears?
Oh, we have a check-in from FedEx Field. It says, weather report from FedEx Field. It's going to be a heavy ground attack day. The rain is coming down. Back to you in the studio. Thank you. Appreciate you, Chris Peace. I love it. So much fun. Okay. So obviously Michael Carter, he's got Mike White. So Mike and Mike, okay,
Mike
is
White.
back. back in action. Okay, who else here eats their Mike and Ike's all at once? I don't. You don't eat them in one. You put them all together and just make your own flavor.
I'm not even a Mike and Ike fan like that. I give them a good 6 out of 10 probably.
So when Michael Carter is in the game with Mike White, he's averaging 7.8 targets on the receiving end as a running back. He's also averaging, Mike Carter, when Mike White is passing him the ball, okay? 19.2 points Michael Carter is averaging, and he's also averaging 19.3 touches. Okay, obviously, that is a guy to keep your eye out on. Pacheco, the Kansas City Chiefs, last 2 games, averaging 95 yards and 15.5 touches. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has officially been moved to the IR. So you got to keep your eye on Pacheco.
Pacheco runs with purpose, like for real. You know when you're doing them high-knee drills 2-a-days in the summer, that's how Pacheco be running, man. Every run matters with that dude. I would love a running back like that to be the 1-2 punch with my man.
And he wears the number 10 so good after Tyreek Hill. It's a great.
More running backs need to wear those like low double-digit numbers like that. Those quarterback numbers. I like that.
And speaking of Mike White. Mike White. He might be a sleeper for you. I mean, we seen Mike White come in and put up some not like even like we wouldn't even think about numbers last year, particularly against Cincinnati Bengals. I think he threw for like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I was if you was gonna pull that, I'm like, that's impressive. I was thinking about it. I'm like, who do you have all them touchdowns against? It was the Bengals in that upset.
Yeah. But my biggest sleeper. Now this is a sleeper that you got to keep your eye out on because he might not even be playing. Okay, but if he is a guy that is going to surprise a lot of people. Okay, this is a gentleman who played quarterback, I believe, for the Virginia Cavaliers in college. He can run, he can throw. And did I mention he can run? Because I love a quarterback that can run. Bryce Perkins.
Yeah, you had to double check that last name one time. Bryce. The hell was his last name?
I have a Bryce Perkins rookie card right here, ready for go when he goes off. Okay, because I got a feeling that this guy might be a guy. Okay. Now, if you're in a jam and we're already decided we're not going with Sam, okay?
Definitely not.
The Bryce might be right with Perkins.
Ooh, okay? Bars from the beard right there at one time. You hear the bars?
So that's going to be a guy. I believe they are an afternoon start, so they haven't announced if he's going to be the starter yet. But I think he's going to be going in. How do you keep your eye on a sleeper?
Frank the Tank in the building. Shout out Frank one time, man. Frank, I'm still waiting on that invite, man. Send me a text. I'm trying to come over and watch some football, man, on the five screens, pool tables, games, arcade games, all that stuff in there.
All right, so that's going to close out our look.
Currently Googling. Yo, when he said, I was like, Bryce Perkins? Who the hell is a Bryce Perkins? All right.
Shout out, Beige Boy. Got that. The Bryce is right.
The Bryce is right. I'm digging it.
This is going to be a great little section. Shout out to the editing department. Get those clipping tools ready.
Oh, yeah.
This might be one.
The email out mid-show.
This might be one. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to spam the chat if you have any last-minute fantasy football questions. We are about ready to get into everybody's favorite section. You know what? Shout out to the chat because I've been noticing a lot lately with the chat when we've been doing rapid fire. They've been putting in their answers, their predictions. So shout out to the chat. We love it when you guys fill out your predictions along with us during the show. So, all right, it's time. Get out those what do they call those big guns on the top of the tanks with the lines with the bullets? With it's like it's like a M16
Gatling gun.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe a Gatling gun.
I mean,
no, I think the Gatling gun is not the one that's on the. I don't think it's the one that's on the train though. The Gatling gun, you just prop it up on a massive tripod, and it's like Rambo. You got the ammo that's like 3 yards long. Bullets are like 4 or 5 inches. Oh man, that movie you didn't watch that movie yet, did you? Watch it, please, man.
West Side of the Germany. Yeah, we watched it. We watched it. Yeah, it's
fire.
It's intense, man.
Pretty gruesome. Gruesome.
There's some intense moments there for sure.
Yo, when they were in that bunker and that bunker got, man, I ain't gonna do no spoiler alerts. Go check out that movie On the Western Front or whatever it's called. It's fire.
Yeah, Netflix. We're waiting for our sponsorship check. Thank
Facts.
you. Kai, I don't know if you made a mistake. I mean, listen, that's tough because those are two guys we both talked about. I mean, it just Jeff Wilson seems like a slam dunk this week.
Yeah, and then they should be playing with the lead late. I mean, he should get even some more touches late in that game.
Yeah, I think you should feel good about that. Feel good about that move, Kai. You know? And
Nice.
Freebird is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody say shout out Freebird, man.
Shout out to Freebird.
Freebird graphics department is on fire, man. Look
Yeah,
at
I'm digging that.
Avatar,
Look like an album
man.
cover.
It does look like an album cover. Shout out Freebird. All right, Diggy's in the building, says, what's going on, y'all? I'm hoping the Commanders don't catch up to the Giants.
I'm right there with you, Diggy.
I have prepared myself mentally for the downfall of the love for the beard from the Giants community. Okay.
They gonna go crazy on you.
Oh, here we go. A little betting action. Thoughts on Browns plus 3.5 and Dolphins minus 7.5 first half. So the Dolphins to be up by 8 or more points. That 7.5 is so sketchy.
I like that one better than the plus 3.5 for the Browns. The Bucs have been playing some good football.
Yeah, I don't know if the Browns, if you're asking Browns plus 3.5 full game or first half. But yeah, if I had to choose one of the two, I'd like the Dolphins minus 7.5. They should be up by 10 points at halftime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Beige Boy. Left hand up. Who are we?
Left hand up. Who are y'all?
The Commanders.
I still don't know.
Oh, you know who we are.
Mean.
You know who we are, right?
The buzzsaw.
The buzzsaw.
The buzzsaw is on fire, dog. The buzzsaw is crazy. And
all right,
he's cutting with the saw. If you didn't see, like, goddamn.
All right, one more question from the best shopping catalog from the 1980s. Sears wants to know Samaje Perine or Brandon Ayuk full PPR this week. Ooh,
Brandon
this is a
Ayuk.
good one. Yeah,
Brandon Ayuk been balling.
Brandon Ayuk, listen, if you didn't see it on Twitter or hear it last week, I was telling people play Ayuk, play Ayuk, play Ayuk. And what happened? He came with the Ayukan. 2 touchdowns.
Yo, the beard has got some bars today. Y'all hear these bars? He said he came with the Ayukan.
Brandon Ayukan had 2 touchdowns last week, so I'm loving Brandon Ayuk in this matchup today for sure. Appreciate the love, Sears. And listen, it wouldn't be an international affair if we didn't touch base with our correspondents in Italy. Big shout out to Tuto for the $4.99 super chat. Says massive salutes and thanks to Duo Kings and for all diehard Giants fans around the world. Slap all stinky Boyd's losers. And we ain't saying anything about skins. Italy, salute.
Italy salute, man. Big shout out to Tudo one time in the building, bro. We appreciate you pulling up, rocking with us, Tudo.
Shout out, Tudo. Appreciate you, brother. All right, let's get into rapid fire, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to go through each and every single NFL game that is left to be played in this week of football games left to be played. All right, up first is going to be oh man, sorry for these guys. The Houston Texans, who are 1-8-1. They are headed to South Beach to face the Miami Dolphins, who are 7-3. The Dolphins are a whopping 14-point favorite. The over-under in this game is 47. Kickoff is at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Authentic, tell them what you got.
Man, if I didn't see the Texans, pretty much put up a complete dud against the Commanders last week, I might look at that 14 and maybe think they might cover. But I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to cover the 14. 47, let me see. We'd probably be about I'm going to take the under. Texans don't score more than 10 points in this game.
Yeah, Kyle Allen will be starting quarterback for the Houston Texans this
Kyle
week.
Allen can do some things, but he can also get hurt. That boy be running, getting hurt all the time.
He's no Davis Mills. All right, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins minus the 14. I'm also going to take the under 47. This is probably going to be a blowout, but there should be a lot of fun fantasy in this game, which I think will be intriguing. Don't forget about Dameon Pierce. I look for him to get back on track as well. Up next, we're going from my team of the Houston Texans to my other team, the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 6-4. They are 1.5-point favorites. They are headed to Nashville, Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans are 7-3. The
They
over-under
might
in
be a
this
little
game.
too young for that reference.
The over-under in
Tennessee.
this game is 42.5. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals minus 1.5 all day long. I am also going to take the over in this game. I think Tennessee finds a way to put some points up. Cincinnati's Bengals defense has been hit or miss. Also, really like Treylon Burks in this game, especially on DraftKings. He is very, very affordable. I think he's only $4,200 coming off of his best game of his rookie campaign. Authentic, what you got?
Man, I've been picking against the Titans in a bunch of spots this year. I'm not doing it this week. No Jamar Chase. I'm gonna take the Titans to win this one in a close game. Titans win this one by 3, and I'm gonna take the over 42.5.
This is going to be a good – I think that's going to be a good game, a sleeper game right there, Tennessee-Cincinnati. That's a rematch of last year's playoff game, too.
Oh,
Forgot
yeah.
to mention that.
Ryan Tannehill was throwing like 50 yards in them playoff games, man. Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Get it done today, brother. Get it done.
All right, this is not a game I expected to see with records like this, but it is the Denver Broncos. They are shout out to the graphics department.
You digging
The
that? You like the vibe? Shout out to the graphics department one time, man.
The Denver Broncos are a disgusting, disappointing, horrible 3-7. They are 1-point favorites against the Beards Sidham Panthers, who are 3-8. The over/under in this game is a disgusting high school level 36. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guess I'm gonna go with the Denver Broncos to win. And I'll take they can't go under 36 points. I'm gonna take the over 36.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos too. I'm gonna take the under 13-10 Broncos.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's bad.
All right, up next, the artist formerly known as Travis, Trevor Simeon, and the Chicago Bears are 3-8. Shout out to the graphics department once again. The graphics department might be the best looking thing of these last two games.
I know
the Chicago Bears are 3-8. There is no Justin Fields. They are headed to New York. Zach Attack is not back, Jack, for this game. Matter of fact, we're going to a different rapper, and his name is Mike White. Mike White and the New York Jets are 6-4. They're 7-point favorites. The over/under in this game is 38.5. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Authentic, tell them what you got.
It's crazy that the Jets are sitting at 6-4 with everything going on in the locker room right now. It's unfortunate for them because they got off to a really good start. Let's start with the over/under 38.5, man. I'm gonna take the under in this one. The Jets defense has been playing good. I think they'll rely on that defense. They'll find a way to squeak out a victory with no Justin Fields out there on the field. But I got the Bears covering. I definitely got the Bears covering at 7.
Yeah, you know what? Do they find a way to score points without Justin Fields? I don't know how. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets minus the 7. I would probably buy something and get 6.5 if I could. The 7 is super sketchy. I don't know if that line has changed since this morning. But, yeah, I'll take the Jets. I'll take the Jets minus the 7. I'm also going to take the under. This might be a 16-9 sort of affair.
9-6.
9-6.
6-3. We ain't seen one of those games in a minute, those 6-3 Thursday night football type games. You'd be like, what's going on here?
Up next, it is the Atlanta Falcons, who are 5-6. They are headed to Washington to face the Washington Buzzsaws.
I don't care.
Oh my gosh!
I accidentally, my hand slipped. I don't know what happened.
Okay, the Washington Commanders are 4-point favorite. And the over/under is 40.5. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have feet on the ground at FedEx. Shout out to our correspondent Chris Peace, who is in the field right now working this game for Awthentik and The Beard. You already know where I'm going. I'm taking the Washington Buzzsaws minus the 4. I'm going to take that under 40.5, though.
Yeah. All right. I think there's going to be a little bit of scoring in this game, even with the weather. Both of these teams do know how to run the ball, short passing game. I did hear that Washington Commanders know St. Juice, or is he active?
Yeah, I don't know because we are unfortunately missing our Marge correspondent
bombs?
with our Marge bombs. It was trending in the wrong direction for St.
That's what I saw too. Yeah.
But I haven't had a chance to look at the inactives yet. That is definitely something to keep our eye on. He has emerged as the number one corner for the Washington Commanders team.
Man,
so.
I can hear like the because I live on North Capitol. For those that don't know, very busy street. But you can hear like the swishing of the water and the cars flying by right now. The weather out there is probably extremely ugly at FedEx Field. This is gonna be an interesting game. But I got to go with my gut, and I got to go with what I need. And I need the Atlanta Falcons to win this game. I'm gonna take I'm gonna still take that over 40 and a half. And Atlanta Falcons win this one outright.
Ooh, that hurts. Look at that. Marge bomb just showed.
Marjorie in the building. What's popping, Marge?
And listen, sometimes tanks carry bombs too.
St. Juice is out.
Says
Shout out to Tank one time. Tank carrying the bomb.
All right.
Tank, man, we gotta do something with that name, man. Newport, how long you had that name, man? How long you had that? We gotta do
since
something.
we were in high school.
I need a Frank the Tank vibe so I know what's popping over there and what's good, man.
I mean, Newport 211. I mean, it doesn't say Tank more than that does.
I remember those. I remember those long nights, man. It was pretty crazy. The Frank he's a party animal.
Up next, look at this. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to get over 500 once again. I mean, the graphics department is on a roll. They are 5-5. They're 3.5-point favorites. They're headed to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Duays, who are 3-7. The over/under in this game is 42. Kickoff is at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus the 3.5. The over/under is a little, I don't know. I want to take the over. I think Cleveland finds a way to put some like backdoor points up. I'm going to take the over just barely over 42 in this game. Where are you going?
I'm with you on that. I'm right with you. I'm taking over 42. Tampa Bay is probably going to come away with this victory, and I think they'll cover in this one. Tom Brady playing some good football. All the people in the NFC, y'all need to watch out for them Bucks, man. They're definitely on the up and up right now.
We got to give a big shout out. Talking about massive victories. Big shout out to Tuto with a $4.99 super chat says we had a massive victory. Oh, this is the game we all wanted to know what happened in. Tuto was going up against his dad. His dad is a coach for the opposing team, and it looks like Tuto pulled off the victory yesterday, second year in a row against all odds. They are now above 500 too, just like Tampa Bay looking to get above 500. Tuto's club is now 8-7, and he's back on the roster and healthy and ready. That's the best news of all of that, is to hear that Tuto is back and healthy. And don't forget to salute Italy. Shout out Tuto. We appreciate
Italy.
you.
I don't even know how Tuto gets injured, man. You see that profile pic?
I mean, yeah, listen.
Sheesh.
Sometimes rocks get chiseled.
Tuto looking like Alter Beast one time out there. Shout out to Tuto, man.
Quick question from the chat. Brandon checking in from Facebook says Aaron Jones or Antonio Gibson. That's a good one.
That's a real good one. Aaron Jones, he does get a lot of target share over there with the Packers and whatnot. I think, but it's so ugly out here in D.C. I'm going to go Aaron Jones, man. And I got Gibson in my lineup. I don't think it'll be a drastic difference between one or the other, but I'll go Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I think you just hit on everything right there. You probably aren't going to have a big difference point-wise, but I think you got to go Aaron Jones. Wait. Did I miss this? I missed this. Okay, Marjorie came in first. Says it's an oblique injury for Trevor Siemian. He got injured before the game even started.
Warming up?
He will now be the backup to Nathan Peterman.
Oh, God. Nathan Peterman had the worst debut I've ever seen of any quarterback. I think he threw 3 touchdowns on I think he threw 3 interceptions on 4 pass attempts. His first debut was awful. Awful for the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, listen, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got a lot of love here, and everybody is reporting for us. We got a lot of correspondence. Shout out Cernock. Shout out Marsh Bombs. This is
You see Frank the Tank too?
I did see Frank the Tank. I'll try not to jinx it, okay? I know Frank the Tank. I know what he's doing there.
Right.
Christian Watson, anytime touchdown, plus 265, got me feeling a certain type of way. Listen, I love Christian Watson, and I've given out guaranteed touchdowns for Christian Watson 2 weeks in a row now. I cannot give you that guarantee against Philadelphia Eagles secondary. But if I was a betting man, which I am, and I had a free bet, which I don't anymore because we used them all on Thanksgiving, I would probably wager a little bit of money on this just for fun. Because if anybody's going to get one, it's probably going to be Christian Watson. So not a bad bet.
Put on some rich homie Quan. You could feel some type of way, and you could make your way into some money. We'll see.
I like that. Newport 211. Frank the Tank says 100% chance of heavy rain and a Gibson fumble. I will not let you talk that into existence. My man has not fumbled the ball all season long. Shout out to Antonio Gibson, and shout out to
Frank the Tank, man. Wishing that juju on them.
We are all virtually knocking on wood right now. Cernock wants to remind everybody that Nathan Peterman threw 5 interceptions.
It was 5. Wow.
In the first half of his first start. New York Jets defense is looking like a play today. All right.
Is that Marge Bomb for real, or is she joking on that?
No, she's serious.
That's a bomb right there. I don't wish upon injury upon nobody, right? But that would be really interesting to see Dave Montgomery at quarterback. That would be very interesting.
He's there. I mean, listen, it wouldn't surprise me in a Bears-Jets game. Just going to throw that out there. All right, let's move on to a little bit of a more exciting offenses. Not as of late, though. The Baltimore Ravens are 7-3. They are 3.5 favorites. They are headed down to Duval to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 3-7. The over-under in this game is 43.5. Kickoff is at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. I thought about taking the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 3.5. Just because of how bad that Ravens offense has been. But I got to believe in my heart of hearts that Lamar Jackson has a Lamar Jackson game. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens minus the 3.5. I'm going to take the over 43.5 as well.
I'm with you on that. I think I'm going to take the under in this one, though. Baltimore Ravens offense, man, they've been stalling out a little bit. It's not going to surprise me if the Jaguars make this a game, man. Their record doesn't really indicate how, decent of a team they are, I'll say, because they're definitely not a good team. But, yeah, give me the Ravens in this one to cover, and I'm going to take the under.
All right, up next, this game could be an interesting shootout. The first 4:00 game of the afternoon is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders, who are 3-7. They are headed to Seattle to, whoa. Graphics department, okay.
Graphics department. Now, let me tell you something about what the graphics department told me this morning. He said the Seattle Seahawks logo has no symmetry to it, so he had to make it a badge to match the Raiders badge one time. That's what I heard from the graphics department. So shout out to the graphics department. Y'all know what it is over here.
We are full of surprises here at Awthentik and The Beard, best television show.
They said that in the graphics department, it's 2 dudes working in the graphics department. One dude with a real big beard, and this dude who's always wearing New York Giants hats. I don't know, man. We'll see. We're definitely looking to hire some people. We just got Chris Peace on staff on the field right now, and we got these 2 Commanders fans and New York Giants fans working the graphics for us. Y'all know what it is.
I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders to cover the 4 points, and I'm going to take the over 47.5.
My gut wants to pick the Raiders to just outright win this game. I don't know why. The Raiders, shout out to my homie Layla one time. The Raiders the most disappointing team in football right now. But I gotta go with the Seahawks, man. Geno Smith's been playing some really good football. I'm gonna take the over, though. I think both these offenses put up a lot of points in this one. And the Seahawks, they're gonna cover that 4.
All right, up next, another interesting matchup. We could see a lot of points in a lot of players in this game we talked about already today. That's gonna be the Los Angeles Chargers. They're 5-5. They are headed to Zona.
Hey,
Kyler Murray
you reminded me of the Dave Gettleman video when he was like, I'm going to be kicking ass until they take my key card. You said the Chargers. They took his key card, all right. Look, get your ass up out of here, Dave.
Who uses key cards anymore?
Key card.
All right, the Arizona Cardinals are 4-6. Kyler Murray is back from his Call of Duty tour. The over-under in this game is 48.5. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. I'm going to take the Chargers to cover the 3, but I'm going to take the over. I think we get some points here in this game today.
I'm right with you on that. I got no difference in that, man. Give me the Chargers. Give me the over. Chargers to cover.
Up next, the Nolans Saints, who are 4-7, they are headed to San Francisco. The 49ers are 6-4. They are 9-point favorites. The over-under in this game is 43. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Authentic, tell them what you got.
I'm going to take the Niners in this one, but I think the Saints are going to cover, man. Late in this one, maybe like a backdoor cover one time. Give me the over 43 points in this one. Both these offenses doing some damage. San Francisco, man, they making a push right now. And at the beginning of the year, people were kind of looking at them like, they falling off. They make that trade for CMC. Debo Samuels, man, he's got to ramp it up a little bit. I don't know what's going on with him in that offense, but Brandon Ayuk been balling out. So give me the Niners in this one. Niners, man, sleepy Super Bowl team for the NFC right there.
They're actually, I think they're the fourth best odds for the Super Bowl right now.
NFC's looking, there's not a lot of good teams in the NFC, especially with the way that the Vikings got blown out last week by the Dallas Cowboys. Pump the brakes with the whole Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl talk too, man. They just barely beat a New York Giants team that was decimated with injuries. Let's just pump the brakes. They're a good team, not a great team.
And you want to know what else about those Dallas Cowboys?
What else?
They haven't even seen the
buzzsaw.
All right, listen. I want the Saints to win this game, but I obviously we need San Francisco to lose. But I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I don't know, man. The 49ers looked really good the other night.
Yeah.
And it's in San Francisco. No, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers to cover the 9. I'm going to go under 43. Up next, when they set this game up, they did not think that the Los Angeles Rams were going to be 3-7 going to Kansas City. The Chiefs are 8-2. The Chiefs are 15.5-point favorites.
Golly.
The over-under is 42. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, if Bryce Perkins is the starting quarterback, you can book the Los Angeles Rams covering the 15.5. If he is not the starting quarterback, the Chiefs might win by 21. That's where I'm at in this game. If I'm going to take the over 42 because the Chiefs might score 41 in this game. Authentic, where you at?
I'm with you on that, man. I'll take the over in this one. The Chiefs sometimes do tend to play down to their competition in spots like this, but Patrick Mahomes is just on fire, man, and Kelsey's just been going crazy. They're getting Juju Smith-Schuster back. That's awesome for them. I'll take the Chiefs to cover, and I'm going to take the over 15.5. Good Lord. Is that the highest of the year?
It might be.
I think so. Good. I think I've seen some 12, some 13, but
some
14.5.
Yeah, 15.5 might be. Actually, I think Buffalo was favored earlier this year for like 17.5 in a game, I think. But yeah, it's right up there. I mean, that's a crazy number for the NFL. Up next, we're going to go into the Sunday night football game. It is the Green Bay Packers, who are 4-7. They are headed to Philadelphia. The Eagles are 9-1. They are 6.5-point favorites. The over-under in this game is going to be 46.5. Kickoff is at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Authentic. Tell me what you got.
Yo, that voice was reminding me of some of these commentators from some of these college games, man. The commentator for the Ohio State-Michigan game, anytime a big play broke,
Gus Johnson.
Man was losing.
Gus Johnson, he is an absolute legend. He is a legend.
He was losing his mind, dog.
He is fantastic for college basketball during March Madness. I love Gus Johnson.
My man was lunching out there. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game, but I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to cover. 46.5. We're going to be right around that. Yeah, I'll take the over 46.5.
I'm right there with you. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to cover the 6.5. Philadelphia to win. I'm going to take the over just barely. Hopefully that game is fun to watch. I love a good nightcap of a good game. If this game was in Green Bay, I might have a little upset for you. But we're in Philadelphia, so I think Philadelphia Eagles find a way to win. They better come out strong, or else I'm going to be spending another 2 hours defending Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles on Twitter.
Hey, they might lose, and Jalen Hurts probably still going to have a good game. He's the one player that's been consistent throughout this whole entire season. But I will say this for the Giants fans out there. I'm rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. I want the Eagles to run up and win as many games as they possibly can. So by the time we get to that Week 18 matchup against the Eagles, which will be the second matchup, maybe they're resting some starters and can get the Giants another easy path to victory here, because Giants are going to need it, man. Our schedule is super tough, toughest in the NFL as far as win percentage goes to finish out the year. So I'm rooting for the Eagles today, man.
They owe you guys for that, for the Sudfeld.
Yeah,
incident.
you right about that. They owe us one. You right about that. You remember?
That's still,
before we move
one of
on,
the classic moments of Authentic and the Beard
oh
history.
man, that was ridiculous. Like we're like, who's coming into the game? But this is wild. Even I was saying this too, that because of that benching, I was thinking maybe they would go and draft a quarterback going into that following draft. That was 2020, I believe it was. Yeah. And then now it's like you could really put all that quarterback talk to bed. But just look at the narratives that were spread around that time about Jalen Hurts. Doug Peterson gets fired after that, and how things are looking right now for Jalen Hurts after you get some weapons over there in Philadelphia. It's polar opposite.
Yeah, that's awesome. Big shout out to Freebird. Appreciate you, because I'm loving this stream. First time finding y'all. What is y'all's Twitter? I subscribed also. Freebird, welcome to the Authentic and the Beard family. We appreciate you. We are live multiple times during the week, so definitely hit that notification bell. And you can find us on the Freebird app. Listen, shout out Graphics Department already on it.
App. I like that. I like that.
Authentic is at Authentic the Beard, who is myself. I am at Tim Walk on Water 2. You can also find our Twitter handles in the description of this video. But shout out to Freebird. We appreciate you joining us for the first time. And the last game on the slate, getting in right at the buzzer here of the 1 hour and 30 mark for Authentic and the Beard parlay, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 3-7. They are headed to Indianapolis to face the Indianapolis Pat McAfees, who are 4-6-1. The McAfees are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 39. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a tricky game. I have been liking the movement of Kenny Pickett's progression over the last couple of weeks. It's going to be tough. It really depends on if the Steelers can stop the run here. I'm going to watch this spread, because if this spread gets to like 3.5 Colts, I would take the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3.5. I think the Steelers hang around in this game. Colts really need to win in order to stay alive in the playoff. Really need to win,
too, to keep Mike Tomlin's 500 record alive here, too.
Man, let's go, man. Mike Tomlin. I love Mike Tomlin. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. And I think we get over that 39. I think that's a bit low for this game.
Really? Okay. Over the 39. I'm gonna take under the 39 in this one. I'm having some matchup difficulties here, man, because I got Deontay Johnson and George Pickens both on my bench right now. I got Drake London in the lineup over them. Tyler Algier. I got to make a move. I think I might take Drake London out the lineup. Chat, give me some help on this one, please. Do I start George Pickens? He's had a couple good games this year. Been up and down for sure. But as far as this one, I'm going to take the Steelers as well, too, man. I think Mike Tomlin is just battling right now. I don't think he's fighting for his job or nothing like that. They are strapped for talent over there. But they do got some weaponry, man, as far as wide receivers go. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one, and I'm going to take the under as well.
Big shout out to Mike Tomlin. All right, and that's going to do it for Rapid Fire, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get a quick question in before we get out of here and, let everybody make their last-minute adjustments. We want to appreciate show our appreciation to everybody in the chat. Once again, this has been an absolutely fun stream. Shout out to everybody who was reporting from the field, giving us updates. We really appreciate it. This is a very interactive stream, and we love that about Authentic and the Beard here. Big O-Dog Football Club. I like that one. Jeff Wilson, David Montgomery, or Michael Carter?
Jeff Wilson. We are
putting it all as Newport 211, aka Frank the Tank would say. We are betting the farm on Jeff Wilson today. So
definitely.
But I like Michael Carter. If you find a way to squeeze him into another lineup, I like him as well. Speaking of Frank the Tank, he has dropped the menu for today.
Okay.
Standing rib roast, cocktail shrimp, and chicken wings roll through.
That's what's up, man. I'll see if I get a little motivated. No Giants game, so it might be a good week to pull up on you, Frank the Tank.
And
Deuces.
Beige Boy says you guys going to be live from MetLife next week.
Possibility. Definitely going to be doing some content from the game here at FedEx Field. There's a possibility we'll be up there at MetLife this upcoming week. Been pulling some strings, hollering at some folks. We're going to see what's going on. Shout out to the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much as always. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully everybody got some good information today. Do not forget to check us out, or Mr. Authentic, out tomorrow as I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is the most anticipated
giant overreaction of the season.
Yep.
Because
had a lot of time to absorb this loss, too.
A lot of time to absorb it. A lot of, things to pull from the universe of giant Twitter and other YouTube comments. So definitely looking forward to that Monday afternoon. Also, we will be back Tuesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are keeping your eyes peeled for this week, because we're going to try and really put the pedal to the metal for
Facts.
Washington and New York week here at Awthentik and The Beard. It's the most, how's the Christmas song? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, we here, man.
You
All we
got
asked for was us to have some winning records.
Giants going back-to-back weeks. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I'm not a fan of Christmas like that. I'm more of a fan of New Year than I am Christmas, because New Year's like, hey, reset. Let's get this bag. Let's get to it. Let's get things popping. Y'all know what it is, though, man. So, man, I'm still having some issues with this George Pickens thing, man. What should I do here? Drake
is on the Beard's bench.
All right.
I told you.
I think George Pickens going to step into the lineup this week. It's a Hail Mary type of week.
And you
for me,
get
man.
a Monday night thing to keep you alive. I always love it when I got a guy on Monday night, because then I'm like, I got a chance.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Man. All right, man. Y'all know what it is over here at Awthentik and The Beard, man. Every show we end it the same way, man. Y'all know. Keep raising that bar. Keep living those dreams, man, because the universe flows in Technicolor and surround sound. Big shout out to the podcast, Go Combat Jack. Rest in peace. Y'all know what it is. Best of luck with your fantasy this week. Enjoy y'all football Sunday. Make sure you got some red zone in the background like my homie Kai was talking about earlier. We'll catch y'all on Monday for the Giant Overreaction, and we'll catch y'all on Tuesday for the recap of the NFC East. Y'all be good. I see them biceps in the chat. Y'all know what it is, man. Left side.
Strong side.
All right, family. Y'all be good. Peace.